Hello everyone, and welcome back to Module 6 of the Nexaspaces Tech Education series. In this session, we'll be focusing on one of the most exciting and practical parts of embedded systems and IoT, sensor interfacing. Sensors are the eyes and ears of any embedded system. They help our devices understand the environment around them. Today, we'll look at three commonly used sensors: temperature sensors, humidity sensors, and motion sensors. We'll learn how these sensors work, how to connect them to microcontrollers like Arduino or ESP32, and how they're used in real-world applications. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to bring these sensors to life in your projects. Let's begin with the basics. Interfacing means creating a bridge between the physical world and the digital system. On one side, we have sensors that measure physical parameters, like temperature, humidity, or motion. On the other side, we have a microcontroller that reads, processes, and acts on that information. The process usually involves three things: hardware connections, wiring power, ground, and data pins. Communication protocol, whether the sensor sends analog signals, digital signals, or uses protocols like I2C or SPI. Software handling, writing code to read the sensor data and use it in an application. Once you understand these three layers, you can interface almost any sensor with confidence. Now let's talk about temperature sensors. Some of the most popular ones are LM35, a simple analog sensor; DS18B20, a digital one-wire sensor; and DHT11 or DHT22, which measure both temperature and humidity. Let's take the LM35 first. It gives an analog voltage proportional to temperature. For example, at 25 degrees Celsius, the LM35 outputs about 250 millivolts. We connect this output to the ADC pin of a microcontroller, and then convert that voltage into temperature using a formula. The DS18B20 works differently. It's digital and communicates using the one-wire protocol. That means we only need one data pin, and libraries handle all the communication for us. And finally, the DHT11 and DHT22 are widely used in IoT projects. They provide both temperature and humidity values using a single digital pin, which makes them very easy to use. In real-world applications, temperature sensors are everywhere, from smart thermostats and refrigerators to wearable devices and agriculture monitoring systems. Without temperature sensing, most smart devices would be incomplete. Now let's move on to humidity sensors. Humidity is simply the amount of water vapor present in the air. Measuring humidity is important for greenhouses, weather stations, HVAC systems, and even food storage. The DHT11 and DHT22 are the most common beginner-friendly humidity sensors. To interface them, we connect VCC, GND, and one digital pin. With a simple library, we can directly read relative humidity in percentage. For more accurate projects, sensors like the SHT31 or AM2320 are used. These work with the I2C protocol, which means we can connect multiple sensors on the same bus without using extra pins. Interfacing humidity sensors is straightforward, but the applications are powerful. Imagine a smart home where the air conditioner automatically adjusts not just based on temperature, but also on humidity levels. Or an agricultural IoT system where plants get water based on soil humidity and surrounding air. Next, let's look at motion sensors. The most commonly used is the PIR sensor, which stands for passive infrared. PIR sensors detect changes in infrared radiation, mainly from human bodies. When a person walks in front of the sensor, the output pin goes high, and when no one is detected, it stays low. To interface a PIR sensor, we connect VCC, GND, and the out pin to a digital input on the microcontroller. The beauty of PIR sensors is their simplicity. No complex libraries are needed. Most PIR modules, like the HCSR501, even allow us to adjust sensitivity and delay using onboard knobs. These sensors are heavily used in real-world applications. Automatic lights that turn on when you enter a room. Burglar alarm systems. smart energy-saving devices, and motion-activated cameras. For more advanced systems, radar-based motion sensors are used, but PIR remains the most popular due to low cost and low power consumption. Now imagine combining these sensors in one system. For example, a smart home system might use a temperature and humidity sensor to maintain comfort levels, and a motion sensor to turn on the lights only when someone is in the room. All the data can then be sent to the cloud using Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or LoRa. From there, users can monitor the environment on a mobile app or dashboard. This is the essence of IoT, multiple sensors working together, sending data, and triggering smart actions. To summarize, today we learned how to interface three important sensors. Temperature sensors like LM35, DS18B20, and DHT11. Humidity sensors like DHT22 and SHT31. And motion sensors like the PIR module. We explored their working principles, wiring, coding basics, and real-world applications. In the next videos of Module 6, we'll continue exploring more advanced sensors and learn how to integrate them into complete IoT systems. If you found this video useful, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the Nexaspaces channel for more tech education content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next session.